Hey guys, it's Tamara Bennett with Southern Adornments Decor. I'm back for day 21 of the 30-day Facebook Live Challenge. And tonight I'm going to finish painting this home Kentucky door hanger. Let me get it pulled up here on my iPad so I can see your comments. As you're coming on, tell me hi, tell me where you're from. I see we got a couple of viewers coming on. We'll give it a second for Facebook to build the audience and then we'll get started. I'm a little late getting on tonight, but I had a late supper and got home late from church, and so after all of that, it's just a little late getting on. But I'm going to be finishing up painting this home with the Kentucky cutout door hanger. I've already got all of my background colors painted. Hey Mom! And I've just got to add the finishing touches. So the customer that ordered this one said she wanted bright colors, so I started by painting white on the H and then white on this part, but then I painted the bright yellow on top of the white. This bright yellow is a really, really bright yellow, but it's also very transparent. It's from the Apple Barrel paints, and it's a really transparent paint. Like, you can still see the wood grain through it pretty badly. So I usually paint white underneath. Hello, Chelsea. Hi, Kristen. Y'all tell me hi as you're coming in. If you're new, tell me where you're from. Hi, Michelle. And then this color is bright magenta and Key West. Of course, my favorite turquoise color, Key West. Thank you, Alyssa from Louisiana. I bet you guys are having a lot of rain down there. I'm going to start with the easy thing first and do these polka dots on the thing up here with my little handy dandy polka dot sponges. Hello, April. How are ya? I'm just going to dip in the white. We're in white polka dots on top of this yellow. I'm just going to start, and if you guys haven't heard me say this before, when I do my polka dots, I do them sort of in a, let me get closer to the screen so you can see. I do them kind of in a triangular pattern. So I'll do like one there, and then I'll create a triangle with the third dot. Let me get my paint closer. And then, of course, I can't really create a triangle here, but I can kind of do one halfway off. And then with these two, I can't really create one. So I'm going to try to make this one the third point of another triangle. And it just kind of keeps them sort of random, so you don't have kind of a weird dot that's off in an odd spot. It kind of keeps them, say I'm going to create one this way. Keeps them sort of random, or not random, I don't know what I'm trying to say, and sort of a pattern. And it makes it easy for me to figure out where to place my dots. The only time it gets tricky is when you're on like an odd pattern like this to try to figure out where to put them. So if you're not sure, just look for an empty spot and just say, okay, that looks good. So glad you caught me live. Me too, April. Hi, Daisy. Okay, so we've got all of our white polka dots on that part. And next, I'm going to do the flowers. And I'm going to use that bright yellow, but I'm going to mix it with some white so that it will show up pretty good. And I'll get up close because I'm having a hard time with my app that allowed me to do the close-ups. You know, the 2 camera angle thing. I tried that last time and I couldn't get it to do right. And it was already kind of late by the time I got on tonight, so I tried not to do it. Oh, thank you for sharing the video, whoever just did that. I appreciate it. You love watching my videos. Thank you, Daisy. Okay. I know this is flipped. Let me see if I can flip it for you guys. Hi, Susan. Yeah, I'm pushing buttons on the screen here. Give me a second. There we go. Maybe that'll help, because I know it's weird for you guys watching this in reverse. All right. So I'm going to do my little flowers, and these are not like any perfect shape whatsoever, and it's probably going to take a couple of coats to make them look nice and filled in. But down here, as you can see, I'm just kind of wiggling my brush in a circular manner. I'm not making a certain number of petals. They're just kind of a loose, wavy flower. And then down here, I'm going to just do one kind of going halfway off and just fill it in. Up here. and fill it in. And we'll do a bigger one down here. And then I'll add little leaves to them here in a moment, and then we'll kind of add highlights in them to make them look more realistic. If any of you are interested in buying the blank cutout for this to paint one on your own, you can find that on my website at southern-adoornmentsdecor.com. I'll post the link in the comments after the video is over. I meant to do it at the beginning and I forgot. And actually, I might be able to do it from my iPad here in a second. And I also can sell the painted ones. If you aren't interested in painting it, I can, here, I'm going to go ahead and put the link in right here. You can go on the website and buy them on there. This thing is moving slow tonight. And I also sell the templates. If you like to cut out your own door hangers, I've got the template. Never mind, that is totally the wrong. I goofed that up. I just put Adoornments instead of Southern Adoornments. Y'all are gonna laugh at me. I must be tired. I think it's because it's typing so slow. My brain moved ahead of my hands. Because as I type it in, it's coming in super slow. Give me a second, I'll get this in here. Southern, not Adoornments. Don't click on that first one. Adoornments Decor.com. Southern-Adoornmentsdecor.com. I had to double check and make sure I spelled it right that time. Okay, there you go. That way nobody has trouble. My website's been acting kind of screwy today. That gave it time for this yellow to dry, so I'm going to go over it one more time real quick. My website's been acting kind of messed up today. Has anybody had trouble getting on it? If you've tried to get on it and you couldn't, let me know. I had some people tell me that it wouldn't pull up, and then after they tried again later, it would. And I was able to get on it just fine from my phone and from my desktop. So I'm not sure what was wrong. The only time I had trouble was someone on YouTube told me they couldn't access it. And when I went to YouTube and tried to click the link, it's like it wouldn't send you to the correct link. It would add in an extra letter or a number or something, and it messed it up. So I hope it's working okay for everybody else. So if you try to go to it and it doesn't work, try again tomorrow, or maybe in a few minutes, try it again and see if it does any better for you. I'm just doing a second coat on this. Then we'll move on to the funner things. Funner, is that a word? I guess so. Okay. Got all the flowers covered. Is it really dark or is it just me? I don't know. I just touched the screen and it seemed to lighten up. Okay. Next, I'm going to have to sit down and do this part. I'm going to do the stripes on the H. And I'm just going to use this, let's see, which brush do I want to use? I'm going to use this fatter one. This one's about 1 inch wide. It's pretty good width. Is the screen dark for anybody else? Let me know, because it's showing up super dark on my TV screen. It looks okay on my iPad. Maybe it's just because my phone is like only got 20% battery. It's acting screwy. I hope it doesn't shut off on you guys here in a little bit. Hi, Karen. Okay, I'm going to do some lime green stripes on this H using the kiwi colored paint. It's a really nice lime green. And since this H is not very symmetrical, I'm just going to have to do just random stripes, so they don't have to line up with the other side of the letter. And I'm just doing them the width of the brush to make it easy. Just doing one stroke across and then going right back across it to make it just a little brighter. This H is kind of whimsical looking, so it's difficult to do perfectly straight stripes on it. This has been a really popular one at my parties lately. Lots of people have been wanting to paint this one. And I love some of the colors people are picking out. Everybody's been like picking colors to match their home decor. And they're just so cute. Okay, we got stripes on the H. The coloring seems kind of weird on the screen. I don't know if it's showing up like that for you guys or not. Maybe it's the lighting in here. Because those stripes on my iPad don't even look lime green. You love the idea of the ice cube tray for paint. Actually, well, yeah, an ice cube tray would work too. I'm using a egg carton. Yes, you can put any state in the O, Daisy. Any state you want. Okay, while that's drying, I keep getting paint on my hands. I'm going to get a really nice pointed brush. And I had some people asking questions about brushes, so let me show you this. Okay, you see how this one is nice and pointed, but the bristles are like kind of fat compared to, say, let me show you one for comparison. Like here's another really pointed one, but look how skinny this one is. The fatter one is going to hold a lot more paint. So that's the one I'm going to choose because I'm going to do some outlines and stuff around some of these letters. Actually, I should probably, yeah, I'll go ahead and do that so I can show you. Let me get some black and white, or some black paint. Thought I had black paint over here, but I didn't. Okay. And so I'm just going to swirl my brush around in my paint. And let me get the camera angle right here. And I'm just going to use, and it will allow me to do much longer strokes without refilling my brush with paint. So I was able to do all of that before I had to dip it again. That little skinny brush that had the skinny bristles, I wouldn't have been able to go nearly as far with it because it doesn't hold nearly as much paint. Whoops, I just messed that spot up. I'll have to touch that up. That's what I get for trying to paint while I'm holding the door hanger up in the air, but I want you guys to be able to see it up close. So I'll fix that little spot later. Okay, and then I'm going to go around this area up here. Let me see if I can get more on camera. And I'm just following the shape of the edge of this O. Just kind of a scalloped edge. And then I'm just going to outline this Kentucky. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it kind of accentuates the shape of the Kentucky. Okay, kind of like that. You're watching from Tupelo, Mississippi. Cool. Alright, and then I'm going to do the same thing to the H, but I'm going to sit down and do this because I don't want to mess it up. And this H, I kind of have to have more of a steady hand. And I'm just outlining the shape. And notice how often I'm dipping my brush. It allows me to keep plenty of paint on my brush and keep making strokes. I just outlined the entire shape of the letter. Okay, we'll do that to the M in just a moment, but for right now, I'm going to go ahead and finish making it look more like a flower. I realized, though, I must not have put a second coat on this flower down here because it's looking very transparent. So let me do another coat on it real quick. And there's a spot on this one, too, that the paint didn't touch real good. You'll notice as it dries, there may be spots that you have to touch up again, especially with this bright yellow color. Michael Corey's watching my video. He said maybe I need to come over and hang out with Michael since you're doing this. Come on over, Corey.
You can ask him what night he's coming over for dinner.
What night are you going to come over and eat dinner with us? Michael wants to know. Hello, Angie. You got several, did you get several of these painted today or just several door hangers painted? I had a paint party today and we had 21 people painting. I mean, it was a big party. Okay, I'm going to get a pointy brush, but this time I'm going to get a little bit of a skinnier one just because I want more of a precise point. That other one that I did all this outlining with, you see how thick the lines are, the black lines? I don't want them that thick. I want them a little bit skinnier to do the details on this flower, so I'm going to get a much smaller brush. It's still pointed, but it's much smaller. And I will get up close so you guys can see. Okay. I'm going to start by just doing like a little half circle in the middle. and then some little swoops around the outside to kind of create the effect that the flower is got petals. And I may do the same thing with a slightly darker yellow so that it pops a little bit more. I've told before in a video that it's like doing highlights and lowlights. You gotta do the white is like the highlight, and then if you do a darker yellow, that's like the lowlights. It gives it just a little bit of depth. This doesn't take very long. You don't have to be real precise with it. You got several door hangers painted. That's awesome, Angie. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm up to 4,694 likes on my page. I'm so close to getting to 5,000. I'm like so hoping by the end of this 30-day challenge that I'll hit the 5,000 mark. That's my goal. So I really appreciate all you guys sharing this video and stuff, because that really helps me get new followers. Okay, let me get the darker yellow and I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to use the King's Gold. This King's Gold color is just like a little bit more of a golden yellow. It's quite a bit darker than the bright yellow. And so you'll see what I mean by the highlights and lowlights. What did I do? Oh, here it is. I couldn't find my brush. Okay, so I'm going to do just like a little dot in the middle. Hopefully that's showing up pretty well on camera. And I'm just kind of going between some of these little white marks and making the same kind of marks with this darker yellow. And it just gives this flower a little bit more of a depth and dimension. Oh, y'all, I am clumsy tonight. I'm going to have to touch up that spot too. This painting and holding the door hanger up in the air thing is tricky. Part of the reason you can't see this quite as good, the yellow, is because that yellow is still pretty wet. So it's not going on quite as thick as it would if that yellow was dry. But I'm trying to work quickly so I can show you guys this. Hopefully I'm still on camera. I have to keep looking. Since I swapped the camera angle, I'm not used to the camera showing in the other side of it. If that makes any sense. Okay, so you see the depth of the flowers. I've got the darker yellow and the white. What I use to cut out my door hangers, I use, this one I actually used a CNC machine. I have a CNC machine. It's called an X-Carve from Inventables.com. And, but like 90% of my door hangers I cut out with a jigsaw. Just because it's actually faster than using the CNC machine. The CNC machine is pretty cool because it lets you cut out stuff that you probably wouldn't have been able to cut out, you know, with the jigsaw. Stuff that's more delicate, or things like this that have a particular type of font, like this font here. So it's pretty handy for those kinds of things, but it's also pretty slow because you have to. There's a lot of setup involved. You know, you have to use your computer and clamp everything down. It's more of a pain than just using your jigsaw. So I use the jigsaw for, like I said, about 90% of my door hangers. You could still cut this out with a jigsaw, especially if you had the printable template that I sell on my website. You just have to be careful because going between some of these areas can be somewhat tricky. Okay, I did the little bitty leaves, and I'm just gonna clean my brush real quick, dip it in the white, and do some little accents on those same leaves. Like, let me make sure I'm in the camera, just to make it look like the light is bouncing off those little leaves. Okay. And then I'm going to switch back to the fatter brush that holds more paint and dip it in the black. And I'm just going to outline this M. You wouldn't think adding black to something that's so bright and colorful would look good, but it really does. It just kind of makes everything pop. My husband just said that. He's heard me say that sort of thing so many times, he now knows what to say. Oh, you and your jigsaw are best friends. Me too, Angie. Me and my jigsaw are buddies. It helps me get a lot of stuff done. It was kind of a love-hate relationship in the beginning, but now I like it a lot more than I used to. Okay, I'm going to get some white and do the same thing to this E, just to make that letter pop a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of white, and I'm just kind of going to wiggle my brush as I go around. And it makes it look like this letter is sort of shining. Let me get just a little bit of this Key West and fix that spot that I goofed up earlier. And I don't remember what this girl wanted on here wording wise, so I'm going to have to wait till after the video is over to do that part. Let me touch this up. Everybody always panics at paint parties when they make a mistake like this and get something on there, and I'm always like, guys, it's just paint. We can totally fix it. See? No problem. Alright, well, I'm done with this one for now, and I will put the words on it later and a bow and all that and give it to the girl who ordered it. If you'd like to order the cutout or even the template to cut your own, you can find that on my website. I posted the link earlier in the comments. The second link, not the first one, the one that says SouthernAdoornmentsDecor.com. I goofed up the first time I posted it. So, Dale says, what is the best blade to use on your jigsaw, especially with the more intricate cuts? I would get a scroll blade. They usually have about 12 TPI, which is tips per inch. Yeah, it's like the cutting tips, and that one would do really fine cuts. It would keep it. It would allow you to get in between these tight little spots here. So 12 tips per inch, a scroll blade, and make sure it's made for metal or for wood, not metal. Any other questions? I'll see you guys again tomorrow for day 22. And thank you guys if you shared the video. I really appreciate it. Y'all have a good night. I'm going to get off here for now. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.